Hey, I'm John Cannell, and today on Preppy Kitchen we're making some crisp and delicious chocolate waffles. So let's get started. In a large bowl, we're gonna combine the dry ingredients, starting with 1 3/4 cups or 210 grams of all-purpose flour. By the way, if you wanna make waffles in the morning, but you do not like doing anything in the morning, you can make these ahead of time and freeze them, which I do all the time. These waffles will last 2 months in the freezer. Or you can have the dry mixture waiting to be mixed so it's halfway done. To puff things up, we're gonna use 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 and 2, and half a teaspoon of baking soda. For some contrast, half a teaspoon of salt. These chocolate waffles need some cocoa powder, so grab half a cup or 50 grams. And I'm using a sieve because the cocoa powder tends to clump up and I do not want to try and whisk the clumps out. 50 grams in the bowl. Sift it out if you're choosing to do so. See, look, all those rocks would have not been mixed properly. Rock City. Press those through. And finally, we're gonna add half a cup or 100 grams of granulated sugar. This will sweeten the waffles, soften the insides, and make the outsides extra crisp. I have my normal waffle recipe memorized because it's our weekend tradition to make them, but I was extra bleary-eyed one morning and did not have my coffee yet, so I forgot to add the sugar. I made half of the waffles and tested them, and they actually looked perfect, super crisp, and then I was like, oh no. So I mixed in some sugar into the rest of the batter. Both were fine. The kids couldn't tell because, drenched in maple syrup, it was fine anyways. My point is you can reduce the sugar slightly if you desire. Grab a whisk and mix it up. By the way, if you like my videos, hit that subscribe button. There's 2 new recipes every single week. And if you can't find a recipe on the channel, it's on my website. Set that aside. Cocoa cloud. Now in a large bowl, we're gonna combine the wet ingredients, starting with 2 large eggs. This recipe uses melted butter. Most of us are making waffles in the morning. Everything's coming straight out of the fridge and things are ice cold. So if you whisk your milk and your melted butter together, the butter can kind of curdle, which just isn't the best. Here, I'm gonna mix the eggs up and add half a cup of unsalted, melted, and slightly cooled butter. It's 113 grams. And when you're making this recipe, you could sub the butter for oil if you wanted to, or use half and half. 1/4 cup of melted butter and 1/4 cup of oil. Whisk this up. Okay, now we can add our milk in. 1 3/4 cups whole milk. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Whisk that up, and our batter is basically done. Right now, you can pour the wet into the dry into the wet, or you can turn your waffle iron on so it's nice and hot. While your waffle iron is heating, now we can combine things. Pour the wet into the dry. I'm gonna give this a nice mix just so it comes together. Don't overmix your batter. And if you wanted to, you could have some mix-ins. Chocolate chips or chopped chocolate, some chopped nuts, candied pecans. Just a little bit of mixing later and my batter has come together. We're gonna set that aside, and once our waffle iron comes to heat, we can get to scooping. Chances are you're gonna be making your waffles in batches, but waiting for all of them to be done before serving. So in either case, you want to have your waffles cooling on a wire rack. If you don't, they're gonna release steam and get soggy. We want crisp waffles, so the wire rack is really important. If you want all of them to be uniformly hot, place your wire rack on a rimmed baking sheet and have this in the oven at 200 degrees Fahrenheit. As you make your waffles, pop them onto your wire rack and they'll stay warm until everything is nice and ready. Once your waffle iron has come to temperature, you might want to give it a light spray. Most of these are super non-stick, so they don't need it though. If you're making those square waffles, probably about 1/3 of a cup per square. For these larger round ones, it's gonna be closer to 1/2 of a cup. Maybe a bit more. Close it up, and we're gonna cook it for 3 to 4 minutes or until steam is coming out and it's darker in color. Actually, your steam should just be stopping when it's ready because they're fully cooked. It smells so good. It makes your kitchen smell like chocolate cake. Very appropriate for the morning. All right, it's been 3 minutes and my waffle is close to done, but not quite. 1 more minute. Let's see now. Once your first waffle is done, continue adding batter until all of your batter has been used. These waffles will last 3 days in the fridge, and it's really easy to pop them into the toaster or your air fryer to reheat them. That might look crazy, but it's the easiest way to get these waffles out from this circular kind. But use a fork at home. Okay, more batter. This recipe will yield about 5 giant waffles, more if your waffle maker makes smaller waffles. For these large circular waffles, I'm using almost a cup of batter, so it really depends on your waffle maker. So these waffles are right on the cusp of dessert for breakfast, which I'm a full believer in. You can enjoy them with a dusting of powdered sugar and some fresh berries. They could have maple syrup. You could drizzle them with caramel, Nutella, dulce de leche, whipped cream, or make them into a sundae and have them with some ice cream. It's really up to you. Beep boop bop boop. This reminds me of making tortillas. Today I'm drizzling mine with some chocolate ganache and adding a little sprinkle of chocolate chips. Just like that, they're ready to enjoy. The cocoa powder really balances the sugar here, so they're not overly sweet, but they are packed with chocolate flavor. I hope you get a chance to make this delicious recipe, and if you like my videos, hit that subscribe button and check out my breakfast treat playlist.